So they are receiving from $1,300 to $1,800 a month on cash every month, and then from 600 to 800, 900 on food.
This is Savannah Hernandez in front of one of the buildings that LA County has been using to house illegal immigrants throughout their state. Now, the reason I came to this address is because it's actually listed on Zillow for almost $1 million, meaning that rent would be about $4,000 every single month. Now, this address was also listed on several whistleblower documents that I received, detailing how migrants have been getting thousands of dollars every single month in the name of CalWorks, CalFresh, and Medi-Cal from the state of California. I sat down with a whistleblower who detailed all of this for us. Regarding migrants being housed throughout California, is this something that's still happening?
Yes, they still are. They're still being housed. I don't know why, and sometimes for more than a year. Now, recently, I've heard of programs that they're housing them for a 5-year plan. So they are receiving from $1,300 to $1,800 a month on cash every month, and then from 600 to 800, 900 on food stamps, CalFresh. I did several jobs, and one of them was working at the DPSS, the Department of Social Services office, where they go apply for all the CalFresh and CalWorks. CalWorks is cash. So every month they have an EBT card, which is like a debit card, and you can go to any ATM and take that cash out. They can use the money for whatever they want.
Now, at this location, we had a family of 4 that received over $2,300 in cash assistance every single month from March to December of 2024, and that's on top of food stamps. And this is one of many locations where migrants have been housed throughout the state of California. We were also given another address by our whistleblower, and she stated that there were reports of 7 to 10 Venezuelans living in this 2-bedroom unit. She states that oftentimes many of these families will try to live in the same location so they can avoid paying rent while still getting the same amount of welfare as if they were paying rent. So a lot of fraud going on with these programs. And can you tell me any personal stories or families that you worked with that you've caught in a lie or you've caught taking advantage of the system?
All of them. All of them. They will lie. They will say, oh, they let me go. And, sometimes they let themselves go. They don't get let go of jobs. They quit because they don't have a need. They don't have, they're not really worried about having something stable because they have all these free resources.
Some of the other documents highlighted how these migrants were asking to have their children enrolled in schools and were enrolling them in schools, how they were also trying to apply for Section 8 housing and get on the list for benefits that typically were only provided to American citizens. On top of that, they also have tiny villages throughout LA County that were created for homeless Americans. However, you also have migrants that are now living in those locations as well.
The rules are always changing. So for the longest time, we weren't allowed to make them eligible to receive these services. But then all of a sudden, with the new programs that the Biden administration put, then they were changing. Then all of a sudden, we have immigrants that are here receiving these resources that before it was only for American citizens. See, Section 8, all of a sudden, now illegal immigrants can apply. If you're here illegally, if you're homeless, you can get your apartment deposit taken care of so you can get yourself an apartment. And another thing, a lot of them, the majority want to go back. They do not want to stay in the U.S. They are not interested in staying here. They don't like it. They don't like it. They have this sort of entitlement that their culture is better. And you know what? I'm just going to be here, make some money, and go back home, but I'm not going to go back home empty-handed.
We wanted to show you just how much asylum seekers are getting in some of our biggest blue cities, starting right here in New York. If you're a migrant, you're guaranteed housing, some of them being placed in hotel rooms that average $300 a night. Then a number of those migrants qualify to be part of the $53 million debit card pilot program. That means they are handed $1,000 on a debit card each and every month. Add SNAP benefits on top of that, and we're talking an additional $1,400. In Los Angeles, migrants are given full coverage health insurance and soon could also get $1,000 a month through the city's new guaranteed income pilot program, which is immigration status blind. That means you could get it even if you're not here legally. And in Chicago, they so far have spent $300 million since 2023 on migrants. That's on things like food and even laundry. As part of that spending, it's going towards rental assistance. If you're a migrant there, you could get up to $15,000 annually to help pay for housing. That money routed to non-citizens, and it's angering a lot of Chicago residents, so much so that a number of Democrats there are suing the city of Chicago for their treatment of this crisis, prioritizing migrants over legal residents. I went through a lot of numbers here, Emily, and I couldn't even cover all of the cities in this report. DC, Denver, Boston, all paying millions in social services and benefits for asylum seekers.
California being investigated by the Department of Homeland Security for allegedly providing federal benefits to immigrants who are in the U.S. illegally. The California Cash Assistance Program is being subpoenaed over the matter. Federal officials are accusing the program of helping migrants receive benefits even though they're not eligible for Social Security.
Oh, hell no!
We have reached out to Governor Newsom's office for comment, but have not heard back.
ICE has been showing up in Pico Rivera, Home Depot, street vending communities in South Central, in Boyle Heights, downtown LA. You just don't know when you're going to get hit by ICE.
Vámonos, está muy peligroso. 7 y 200 para cada uno, ¿eh? Gracias. Hey, me hacen un favor, por favor, ¿eh?
3 fruit vendors selling on PCH in Long Beach warned it's dangerous and then given hundreds of dollars to stay home. The local Hearts Foundation, in partnership with the Singer Realty Group, is one group caring for vendors and giving them the money they need to survive to stay inside and not go to work. K-Town for All is another organization doing these buyouts, and so far they tell us they've raised $60,000 for 36 families in Koreatown to cover their rent, bills, and food for 30 days.
That just shows how much we love our community, how much we love our immigrant street vendors. And, you know, it's a real message, I think, to the administration that we're not going to go down without a fight. We're going to protect our neighbors.
From behind this window, Lydia watches the corner where she used to sell jewelry. Her hands no longer busy, but rather clenched in fear. The same fear that prevents her from wanting to be shown on camera.
Are you scared to leave your home? ¿Tienen miedo a salir de su casa?
Sí, tengo miedo.
She and her husband are undocumented, and after hearing about recent raids, Lydia decided to stay home. Her 10-year-old son, Gerardo, who's a citizen, says he and his sister don't go outside anymore. Gerardo also asked us not to show his face.
It just feels like you're just trapped in your home because if you go outside, you're risking like getting taken away by ICE.
Instead of just being a kid, he's left worrying whether or not he'll wake up with his parents by his side.
And we don't really go out that much, only if it's like important or necessary.
Mucha tristeza.
And while she and her husband don't leave the house, they are fearful that ICE will come to them. So they have this posted on their window saying, "Este hogar no le abre la puerta a ICE," which means this house does not open for ICE. It adds that they have the right to remain silent, and on the back, which is inside of the home, they have a list of their rights, which they say makes all the difference in giving them mental peace.
No somos criminales.
The decision to stay home means no money for rent or food, but just when things felt most desperate, help came from an unexpected place. An online fundraiser launched by local nonprofits, including Community Power Collective.
So this is going to be the third initiative where we fundraise funds for street vendors.
Sergio Jimenez says Lydia will be a recipient of part of these funds that'll help go toward her living expenses.
Everything that they need.
Meanwhile, right, with the new Trump-appointed U.S. attorney in Los Angeles launching a new task force to investigate how billions of dollars in homeless funding has been spent. Grand jury subpoenas, even arrests are all on the table. Matt Finn is reporting live from Los Angeles on this. You sat down with the U.S. attorney. What did you learn?
Well, Sandra, the Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom and L.A. Mayor Karen Bass, they take a lot of heat for the ongoing homeless crisis here. Well, now there's a new Republican MAGA-aligned United States attorney here in Los Angeles, Bill Asaley. He just launched a federal probe investigating exactly where California's homeless dollars are going. The FBI and IRS are going to assist. Asaley estimates $24 billion in homeless funding statewide over the past 5 years, much of that spent here in Southern California.
We will get to the bottom of it, and if we find that any federal laws are violated, we will arrest and prosecute those individuals involved.
The new U.S. attorney points to a recent audit that revealed more than $2 billion in homeless funds is unaccounted for here in L.A. County alone.
We want to know who's getting the money and who's benefiting off this, because it's not the homeless people here in Los Angeles. The problem's gotten worse. There's about 7 people dying every night on our streets, and that's unacceptable.
The state of California, where the state Senate approved a plan to pay unemployed illegal immigrants up to $300 a week. Democrats justifying the program, saying, quote, due to historic racial exclusions, many of the California's most vulnerable workers are entirely excluded from the program. The bill is expected to pass the Assembly. Governor Gavin Newsom has not said if he'll sign it into law. So unemployed, illegal, $1,200 a month, $300 a week. Welcome to America.
Welcome to America. Well, get across the border, get to California, don't get a job, get paid.
Well, or you could self-identify as an illegal immigrant and not work in California, I suppose. I mean, this is outrageous, the amount of money that they're getting. Why wouldn't every illegal immigrant go to California?
Yeah, well, they can also get a driver's license, from what I understand. There are also pushes in certain places in California for them to be able to vote. So what is citizenship worth?
Nothing.
It's worth nothing. I mean, it's a revelation of how the modern Democrat Party, when it's laid bare, what it actually, it doesn't care about sovereignty, it doesn't care about borders, it doesn't care about citizenship. They want, I mean, they're globalists completely under the name of compassion, which means who do they leave behind? Law-abiding, tax-paying citizens who get.
That's a great point. That's what it totally washes away the distinction between.
All right, developing news from the Supreme Court. The court will allow President Trump to resume fast deportations to third countries. The plan sends migrants to countries that are not their country of origin. 3 justices dissented. A judge in Boston had blocked a May flight with migrants sent to Sudan, Africa. The group included people from Cuba and Myanmar. They reportedly had serious U.S. criminal records. The Trump administration says those deportations will continue.
Okay, guys, you know California has changed when you're at LAX and there's an entire store dedicated to Trump. Look at this.
Do you believe deploying the military to conduct law enforcement on U.S. soil is legal?
Look, we have to make certain that we protect American cities. If not for President Trump, Los Angeles would be burning right now. We had 6 ICE agents that were totally in fear of their life because local officials, an incompetent mayor, a grossly incompetent governor, refused to do their job.
Is there anything you would not find acceptable for the U.S. military to do on U.S. soil?
Look, President Trump understands what the Constitution is. He understands what the laws are. We have to protect our cities. We have to protect our ICE agents. We have to protect our federal buildings. And Gavin Newsom should maybe get off Twitter and start actually going down to L.A. and protecting his own citizens.
The courts have ruled on the guard They will be back under my command.
A few moments later.
Okay, why is Trump back in control of the National Guard, you guys? What the hell is going on? First I lose my pool boy Roberto, and now this? I seriously need a mani-pedi right now. A bottle of wine, cherry ice cream, and a whole season of Will and Grace. Fuck this politics thingy.
What's actually happening is they're buying voters. That's really what's happening. It's like a giant voter fraud scam. They're importing voters. It's easy to understand if you look at basic incentives. The basic incentive here is the more illegals that the Democrats can bring in, the more likely they are to win. So that's what they're going to do. That's what they have been doing, and it worked in California. California's supermajority Dem. And look at all the companies that are leaving California.
Yeah.
I mean, In-N-Out just announced they're leaving.
Yep.
Their headquarters leaving California.
They're moving to Tennessee.
A fourth day of rallies and protests on the streets of Los Angeles.
It was a peaceful rally. What is going on right now is also peaceful.
Here we are expecting rallies later on.
When they show up, we gotta show up even stronger.
In Los Angeles, there is a new crowd of protesters that has been building.
CNN had it that these were rallies. Now they've become protests. I'm afraid that by tonight they become riots. If we don't have the ability to stand up and stop this violence before it consumes a great city like Los Angeles, then there's no telling where this could spread.
Hardworking, good people, and they're the backbone of our city, and they should have access to all the things that we have access to. And I just don't think they understand that it's a political pawn. I don't think they understand
It's a political game.
This is not done for compassion and kindness.
No.
This is just done to ensure that it stays blue.
Correct.
Yeah, and it's essentially a bribery with your tax dollars.
Yes, this is why the Dems will not even deport criminals.
Yeah.
Because every criminal deported is a lost vote.